Chairman, sir, I strongly support the budget. The budget is short on rhetoric, but packed with dreams for a new India. This budget doesn't come in isolation. It comes on the back of 5-year miraculous performance of the Modi government. More has been done in 5 years than by any government in the history of the world. Never before. The other day, I narrated 10 reasons why this House should celebrate. So I'm not going to repeat. Sir, in the morning, there was a brilliant but deceptive presentation by a senior member, Honorable Member of the Parliament, Shri Chidambaram, on the macroeconomic fundamentals of this country. Sir, I'm here, I'm speaking just to set the records right. Sir, number one, so the macroeconomic fundamentals of this country has never been better than today. This is the best macroeconomic fundamentals this country ever had. So, inflation below 4%. What was inflation when your government was in power? About 10.1%. What was the food inflation? About 18%. Sir, today the inflation is below 4%. So, the fiscal deficit, 3.3%, 3.4%. And what is the primary deficit? It's just 0.3%, sir. 0.3%. So, the FDI, the net FDI grew by 14.2%. The foreign exchange reserves of this country, $422 billion. So, the current account deficit, 2.6%. Sir, tell me in the history of this country, any time when you people ruled, when the fundamentals, macroeconomic fundamentals of this country were right. Let me set a few things right, sir. Mr. Chidambaram said, sir, he talked about the gross capital formation. Sir, it is 32% of the GDP and not 29%, which Mr. Chidambaram misled the House. Sir, it is 32%. Sir, the gross fixed capital formation, sir, it is 29%. I'm giving you figures. Sir, next, the saving investment gap, sir, it is narrowed from minus 48% in 2012-13 to minus 1.8%, sir, dramatic improvement in saving investment ratio. So, I'm just giving you just blank figures. Sir, manufacturing sector. Sir, do not judge this government, which is run more than 5 years by the last quarter. Sorry, we have run a dramatic 5 years. Don't judge us by the last quarter. Sorry, last quarter, there were global headwinds and therefore India has been part of that. Let me give you the manufacturing sector growth. Sir, first quarter, 12.1%. Second quarter, 6.9%. Sir, third quarter, 6.4%. Is it not a dramatic growth in the manufacturing sector? Mr. Chidambaram, I'm sorry, he's not here. So the bank credit, it went up by 14.5% last year. 14.5%. And sir, the bank deposits went up by 10%. Mr. Chidambaram, is the macroeconomic fundamentals of this country good? Tell me. Sir, the production of cement, sir, it went up by 13.3% last year. And sir, and the use of finished steel products went up by 7.5%. Mr. Chidambaram, where are you? Are these not fantastic basic fundamentals? Sir, growth in private final consumption. So this was one of the issues on which Chidambaram went on and on and on. Sir, it went up by 8.1%, sir, last year. Fantastic growth. So, on top of that, so the government expenditure, the government's final consumption expenditure again, on which Mr. Chidambaram went on and on. Sir, it went up by 9% in the last 5 years, sir. 9%. Mr. Jairam, I'll give you the page number 14 of the economic survey, and page number 14, volume number 2. Don't look at them. Look at me. I'll tell you the figures. These are the figures. Okay? And 15.1% in capital expenditure. Mr. Jairam Ramesh, Page number 9. Now all these figures I told you, I can give you the page numbers. Go home and look at it. I'm sorry, this house has been misled by Mr. Chidambaram in the morning. The macroeconomic fundamentals of this country have never been better. Now, are we in a position to borrow? Yes. How are we going to spend the money? The 100 lakh crores, how are we going to raise? So today, the debt of this country is minimal. We can afford to borrow. And where do we borrow from? So, we have money available abroad, which will come at 2%, 3%. Why shouldn't India borrow? You know what is the sovereign rating of India? It's gone up from BAA-B3 to BAA-B2. So this is a great achievement of this government. We are a sovereign country today where we can borrow at the lowest credit. So why shouldn't we borrow? Why should we be paying 10%? One of my states in India, sir, if you kindly permit me to mention the state, if you would kindly permit, I think I have the permission of the chair. Kerala has issued what you call masala bond. Have you ever heard of this, sir? Masala bond. You know what rate they are borrowing at? 9.75%. How are you going to repay, my dear government, Kerala government? Here we are going to borrow at 2.3%, sir. We are going to create purchasing power in the hands of the people. Sir, how are we going to create purchasing power, sir? What happened to the 7,30,000 crores we transferred to the account of the poor people? Is it not purchasing power? Yes or no? 7,30,000 crores of money directly transferred. So that money is with the people. Yes, there is a lag between receiving the money and spending the money, and that will show up in the next quarter. So set the records right. This is India, where no man has ever done in the history of the world. Change things. And I heard a learned, very distinguished member of the opposition trying to laugh at creation of construction of toilets. Sir, our heart is in toilets. Our heart is in houses. Our heart is with the poor people. It's not a red flag. It's not a slogan. We have done it. We have proved it, sir, for 5 years. And therefore we talk. We shall talk.
Mr.
We
Alphons,
drive.
please conclude.
This.
Please conclude.
Yes, sir. Now, may I, with your permission, take half a minute to go back to my state, so Kerala, which is my natural state, and Rajasthan, and my appeal to the Honorable MOS for Tourism, sir. Last year, 3 months back, the World Travel and Tourism Council ranked India at number 3. So you know what is the revenue from tourism? $234 billion. So that is equivalent to 16.5 lakh crores. So I'm sorry, you are providing only 1,600 crores for tourism for development. So that won't do. India needs money. Tourism is not a revenue collecting department, sir. You must give them a percentage of your total revenue. Sir, Rajasthan, my state, incredible possibilities. Kerala, incredible possibilities. Sir, please increase, give them a percentage of the revenue which they collect. It's not the revenue collecting department. Sir, just one more point if you will kindly permit me. Sir, Kerala after the floods. Sir, this is floods. After the floods, please conclude. Yes, there's only one tree standing in Kerala, and that is a rubber tree, and rubber is finished. So past 10 years, rubber, which production cost of a kilo of rubber is 170 rupees, sir. The farmers have been selling at 100 rupees. Please, Minister, please, MOS, please find a solution. Please provide money to rubber. Secondly, sir, we have created the Ministry of Fisheries. Sir, the fishermen are starving. The fishermen are starving. Please provide adequate money to them. Thank you, sir.